Previously, in part 1 to 3 of this video series, I went looking for lost memories using my small Avon Red Start inflatable boat in Loch Craignish. Then I followed the Doris Moor tide race into the Corryvreckan whirlpool, where I almost swamped the boat when 4 large waves appeared out of nowhere. I decided to abandon my journey to Glengarrisdale Bay in the island of Jura, and instead turned north and headed up the west coast of Scarborough. I love seeing the rugged west coast of Scarborough. It's a wild and remote coastline. I was now heading for Lunga, the island to the north of Scarborough, as I had to find a shelter spot to moor up for the night, now that I was no longer going to Glengarrisdale and Jura. I have never camped in Lunga, so pulled into a sheltered bay in its west coast and let the drone loose to suss out the area. I knew from looking at maps that Lunga was almost cut in half at high tide, and saw the channel offered good shelter should the wind and waves get up during the night. Its entrances appeared to dry out at low tide, which it now was, and the best way in looked to be on the other side of the island. It certainly looked a well-sheltered inlet from the air, even in strong winds. drone return, I clambered back into the boat and headed round to the inlet's eastern entrance. Unfortunately, as it was low tide, bunches of kelp blocked the entrance. But I have taken a mental note to moor up in the inlet the next time that I'm in the area and looking for a quiet place to sleep. I then headed across to Luing to explore some of its sheltered inlets and the reefs on its western side. A lovely area to explore, but there was a strong tidal flow through the narrow channels, and in the sheltered open lagoon, a boat was already at anchor. I didn't want to disturb its peace and quiet, so decided to head for a little harbour I often camp at, near the Queen Sound, and it's not too far away. Passing Flada Lighthouse on the way. I was delighted to find I had this inlet all to myself, so I tied up the boat at the ruined quay, had my dinner, then went for a well-needed walk, wash and swim. And while I was doing my thing, the drone did its thing, having a look over the area. I happily hummed a tune, which we often played when I was with the band. Of course, it was our singer Barbara Ann that made the band. The rest of us just played along. Happy memories.
Changes that have come over me these past few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories, singing songs, makes me think about where I came from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. But let me tell you, and I think about you all the time. And it on you, you're calling me, and I'm going home. And if it should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I looked moved and kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving. I lost the friends I needed losing, found others on the way. Well, I've kissed the guys and left them crying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled fast, sometimes with conscience flying, somewhere in the wind. And I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest fire, the flames that can't get any higher, have withered now, they're gone. But steady thinking, my way is clear, and now what I must do tomorrow, when the hands are shaking, the kisses flow, then I will disappear.
It was still early evening, and as I wasn't sure if the boat would ground out in the next low tide during the night, I decided to play safe and head around to the Pool of the Brain mooring, where I stayed on the first night of this adventure. It was now high tide, so I knew that I could nip up the clacking sound to get there.
Make me feel more than sad. Gathered on years been everything I've ever had. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you promised me, and I'm going.
I enjoyed another very peaceful night, moored up in Pool of the Brain, and the following morning proved to be another wonderful day. After an early breakfast, I headed out of mooring and turned south towards Ardencaple to refresh more old memories. Then I couldn't resist stopping to let the drone have a last look around Pool of the Brain and its still sleeping yachts.
And if I should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you promised me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
It's almost 20 years since I quit the band, but I still have many happy memories of those days. It was around that time I started exploring Loch Craignish and my little Avon Red Start. However, my memories of Ardencaple go way back to the late 60s. I was a young Boy Scout back then, and attended a scout camp here. It was my first time visiting the area, and I recall it rained every day for a fortnight. I still enjoyed it, and in fact I gained my one and only boating qualification here. The Roo Sea Scouts took me under their wing and taught me how to row a boat and gave me my oarsman's badge for my efforts. It was lovely seeing the sheltered bays I rowed around all those years ago. And that is what this 4-part adventure was all about. Renewing memories of times gone by, and also filling in some gaps and doing a few things I'd always promised myself I would do. I have lost count of the times I have passed by Ely and Doon, which lies off Pool of the Brain, and promised myself that one day I would land on it and have a look at its natural arch. And this was going to be that day.
Well, I've kissed the guys and left them crying. Stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled fast, sometimes with punches flying. Somewhere in the wind. But let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. Caledonia's been me thinking my way is clear. And now the world has us do tomorrow. When the hands are shaking, the kisses flow, then I will disappear. 'Cause let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. And I don't know you calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. And I don't just mean everything I've ever had. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, that would make me feel more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
After that, there was time to set off for home again, with all my new memories to recall later with old memories. And I thoroughly enjoyed my trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed the video series, and thanks for watching.